Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and another part of our Road to Glory career mode with Aston Martin. And today we have got the Hungarian Grand Prix, the final race before the summer break, of course, and things are going very, very well so far. And of course, our minds are starting to cast towards next season. And as I said, I've had a lot of comments recently asking, who are you going to sign for next season? Are you just going to stick with Alonso and Pierre Gasly? And the honest answer is probably. You know, they're having a wonderful battle for the championship this year, and hopefully that will go all of the way, and one of them will pick up the Drivers' Championship. I don't see any weakness in performance in either of them. You could argue at the start of the year Pierre Gasly was a little bit shaky, but recently he's been very, very strong, very, very consistent, and I don't really see who improves the team at the moment. Of course, Lewis Hamilton, he's out of contract towards the end of the season. I think he's the only one other than Bottas up there that is out of contract towards the end of the year. So yeah, I mean, potentially we look at somebody like Lewis, but again, that's potentially to replace Fernando Alonso, who's 42. It's sort of like for like, really, isn't it? And well, we'll see come the end of the year. But yeah, I thought I'd start off the episode and just sort of show you that screen and where I'm sort of thinking of going with it. Anyway, Fernando Alonso, let's upgrade his cornering, and now Fernando is an 88 rated driver. That is unbelievable at his age. Oscar Piastri, meanwhile, let's get his smoothness up, trying to develop him, and hopefully he will take over in the future for us. So that's the plan anyway. Last time out we had a wonderful race at the French Grand Prix. It was a duel in the desert, part 3, I guess, this season, after Spain, and of course the original duel in the desert, even though Spain and France are very much not desertous locations. But yeah, it has been a wonderful, wonderful season. They finished 1 and 2. They started 1 and 2. That was our first front row lockout in qualifying of the year. It was an unbelievable performance to pull that out. And then we've gone and took the 1-2 in the race as well. Strategy wise, I think we did very, very well. Gasly got stuck in traffic after his first pit stop, and that's probably why he didn't win the race. I think he probably would have done. He had slightly more pace than Alonso throughout, but it was Alonso that took it, and therefore he takes the championship lead by 9 points. So he's ahead of Pierre Gasly in second, and Gasly 36 points ahead of Max Verstappen in P3. And then looking beyond that, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, and Hamilton. It's a bizarre season. It really is, because, as I keep saying to you, we do not have the fastest car. If you look at the car analysis, none of the parts of our car are actually the best parts in the championship. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think this race in particular could be quite tough for us, because in medium speed and high speed corners we're not quite there. So yeah, but low speed we are very, very good. I think we'll definitely be top 10, but I don't think we'll be running away with the Grand Prix like we were last time. Anyway, let's push on. I think we do have a development slot, so why don't we go and do some extra research towards next season. Let's do some underfloor stuff. The next ATR period is in 35 days, so I think we might as well use the rest of our man hours basically to get that sorted out. Okay, a little bit more focus towards the low speed, medium speed and high speed. Other stuff we can forget about a little bit, but that's the part of the car that is getting changed. So 84 days it's going to take us, which is a significant amount of time. We've got that down to 60 by putting 5 engineers on it, but yeah, I think it's worth doing. We've seen the benefits this season of looking towards next year and how good our car can be, and obviously with a regulation change, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So let's continue on then. Board confidence check in. Yeah, so I think that's fine. We've got our analysis at the end of this race, I believe. The helipad's in poor condition, but I do believe we are upgrading it, which is fine. Race prep. Let's just have a little look at the expected strategies. So we're looking at a one-stop race of mediums and hards. That's absolutely fine. Okay then, let's guarantee getting through to Q1 and getting through to Q2 and Q3. I'll press the wrong button there. There we go. We can guarantee fastest lap, I suppose. Might as well risk it, and let's get ourselves into the race for this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix.
The Hungaroring is abuzz with excitement as Formula One returns to Hungary for another round. We first came here in 1986 after construction on this purpose-built motorsport facility was completed. The Hungaroring is one challenging succession of corners and turns. With few straights, it's affectionately known as the go-kart circuit. Drivers will have to find a proper rhythm to make the most of the layout, and for cars, low-speed downforce will be paramount. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder, what else is in store for the teams? Well, there's only one way to find out. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Okay then, so it is going to be cloudy, which could bring about some inclement weather perhaps on Sunday, but overall it should be alright. So I'll see you guys after practice and get ready for qualifying. Alright, at the end of FP3 then, that is where we are at with both drivers. 14 out of 15 for Gasly, 13 out of 15 for Alonso on the performance boosts. So let's see how we get on in Q1. I think it should be an easy enough session to get through. I have been using the tactic of swapping out engines to basically save them during practice, but obviously for qualifying we're going to need the best we got. I'm going to save that freshest gearbox for later on in the season. I think we are going to have to take some engine penalties later on in the year. Again, I'll keep that freshest engine for the likes of Spa and Monza. Ditto with the ERS. And ditto with that gearbox. So, without further ado, let's get ourselves into qualifying and we'll simulate this session and see how we get on. Here we go. So, Q1 done. Lewis Hamilton has been on fire this weekend. Not literally, but he has topped, I think, every session so far. George Russell has been pretty close as well, but Lewis Hamilton does have a grid penalty and will be heading towards the back of the grid. We're through to Q2, P4 and P6, meaning I think we should be able to simulate session 2 and get ourselves through as well. And we do 4th and 7th. Hamilton only 3rd in that session. George Russell in P5. But you can see going out so far, Norris, Magnussen, Vettel, Schumacher and Ricciardo in Q2. And in Q1 we had Zhou Guanyu, Alex Albon, Stroll, Tsunoda and Nico Hülkenberg. Let's get ourselves into Q3 and see how we get on. Alonso's setup is only 85%. I thought we had him on 91% at some point. Yeah, bit bizarre that. But nevertheless, let's get ourselves into Q3. We'll do the first lap on used tyres and come back round and do brand new fresh tyres for the second run. So here we go. Q3. Here we go. So we'll go with Gasly out first.
Radio check. Yeah, radio check. Green light, green light.
And we get Alonso out there as well, nice and early. Try and get some times in there. So Bottas and Russell leave the pits. There goes Leclerc. Oh, this isn't good for Gasly or Alonso, really. We got a Red Bull and a Ferrari that have just come out of the pits. Is Alonso going to get past the Mercedes? No, he didn't. I think he had to slow down. If we hop on board, yeah. So I don't think there's any real point continuing that lap for Fernando. Not entirely sure about Gasly. No, he's been slowed right down, so abandon the lap and we'll send them straight back out there when there's a little bit less traffic. Should be able to do the same for Fernando. Let's have a little look at traffic. So yeah, I think probably send them now. Why is it taking so long for Fernando? What's happened to Fernando? Why? What's happened to Fernando? Anyway, let's hop on board with Pierre. Unless I clicked the wrong button for Fernando, I have no idea, but luckily he should be able to get out. Oh, Gasly went P2. Well, what on earth is going on here? We missed Gasly's lap. He did go P2, which is pole at the moment, because Hamilton, of course, has a penalty. Oh, this is all going wrong. Right. What's happened to Fernando? I mean, I swear we didn't do anything with Nando. Yeah. No idea. I'll have to watch back the footage, but it could completely ruin Fernando's second run. Whatever we've done to him. So let's see what we can do with Gasly. Yeah, that's all fine. Okay. Right, so are people going out just yet? Not yet. We want to be the last over the line. I believe last year we actually missed the line, didn't we? So I want to be a little bit careful here. I'm going to send Alonso now. Yep, seemed like a decent gap. And then we'll send Gasly out as the last man. We should be okay. So we'll watch Fernando Alonso with keen interest. Shouldn't get anywhere near Pierre. George Russell in front, sorry. But yeah, completely baffled. If we come out with pole position here, it'll be an unbelievable job. But here we go then. Fernando Alonso, he's going to be starting his lap now. He's going to be fifth man over the line. I think it's Ocon that's out there first. Ocon, and then Verstappen, Sainz, Russell. So keep an eye on those guys and where they get up to. Ocon has already pretty much got through the first 2 sectors. Gasly's going to make it to the line as last man over the line. There we go then. Gasly on his lap. Alonso comes through the first sector, and it's green. Green for the first sector. How does he compare to the others around him? So 27.0, which matches Lewis Hamilton, funnily enough. Gasly coming up the hill now towards turn 4. What can he do? 27.1, I think. So slightly slower than Fernando. Ocon goes 6th. What about Verstappen? He's going to be coming round now. Green again for Fernando Alonso. No purples in sight. Verstappen's going to come round now. Is he going to take pole position off Lewis Hamilton? Here he comes. Verstappen over the line. And he only goes 6th. What about Sainz? Sainz stays 4th. Russell, he goes 2nd. What about Alonso? Where does he finish? Alonso goes 2nd. And there's Bottas. Bottas goes 8th for now. Lewis Hamilton comes over the line. He improves his position at the top. Perez, where does he go? Perez only 10th. Leclerc, he goes 5th. What about Pierre Gasly though? He comes round the final corner. He heads up to the line and he goes 3rd. Meaning that it's going to be Fernando Alonso on pole position after Lewis Hamilton's penalty. And, well, Lewis Hamilton, what pace he's shown this weekend, and Mercedes in general seem to be well ahead of anybody else. But Lewis, what a performance from him. And Fernando Alonso, he managed to go P2 with his only lap in Q3 there. Pierre Gasly, meanwhile, he will start 2nd behind his teammate. George Russell will start 3rd, and then Leclerc and Sainz. Verstappen will start only 6th, ahead of Bottas, Ocon and Sergio Perez. Mick Schumacher and Alex Albon will also be starting from the back alongside Lewis Hamilton.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
There was some astonishing work from Aston Martin during qualifying, and their drivers are now poised to have a very strong race start. Although Red Bull must be disappointed with their qualifying, they have resources aplenty. Let's see if they can rise up from their great position with a strong race. And the race will be taking place under blue skies. That means the teams should be able to apply their strategies without any added complications.
Well, as we can see, the crowd here at the Hungaroring are ready and waiting. So let's get this show underway.
Okay then, right, ready for the race. It's going to be an absolute cracker, I think. Let's have a look at strategies. I think medium hard is going to be the way to go with both drivers. It seems like we're going to have to take it quite easy if we want to make this strategy work. And try not to attack too much in the race. That's absolutely fine by me. We'll add a little bit more fuel in the car so that at the very least we can attack on that front. But other than that, it's going to be up to the drivers and seeing what we can do. Starting 1st and 2nd. Here we go. Let's see how we get on.
We have beautiful blue skies overhead as the drivers line up on the grid. Looking here at Fernando Alonso. They're starting today at the head of the pack, but will they be able to stay there? Next for the team, it's Pierre Gasly. A 2nd place start for them today. They're in with a real chance. Everything's been building to this.
Here we go then, ready for the lights.
This is it, the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's lights out.
It's out, away we go, and it's a very good start off the grid for Pierre Gasly in P2, but Fernando Alonso manages to hopefully cover him off towards turn 1 from his perspective, and Alonso does manage to stay ahead of Pierre, and we are going to deploy at the start of this race like we did in France and try and pull away from the guys behind. Lewis Hamilton meanwhile in 11th, so it wasn't quite a back of the grid penalty, so he could be a real threat today in that Mercedes car. Fernando Alonso pulling away now from Pierre Gasly And it's going to be another battle between these two for the victory today, you feel, because Hamilton is out of the picture. There goes Leclerc in P3. He's going to try and stay within a second of the guys in front. And then we got George Russell in fourth. Definitely does have pace in that Mercedes to potentially win this Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz there in fifth, and then Bottas in sixth currently. Ocon seventh, Verstappen eighth, Norris ninth, and Sergio Perez in 10th, holding off Lewis Hamilton again. Those two find each other on track, just like in France, but Alonso very, very safely gets through the first lap. He is leading the way, as he is leading the championship as well. And our first objective is to try and get a second ahead of Charles Leclerc. Certainly looks to be the case right now. I think Gasly's already a second ahead. Leclerc will keep deploying that energy, keep pushing forward. And there you go, you can see straight away Gasly is having a look at Alonso. He's getting his elbows out here as they head towards turn 4. No luck there. It's going to be a pure strategy race. Alonso, by the way, he's not pushing on the fuel, so we'll
No saving required.
put him on to push.
Copy.
That was a mistake on my behalf there. We're giving Gasly an unfair advantage. Yeah, what a lap from Fernando Alonso. He only had one available to him, and he had to make it count. So we're going to head to neutral for both drivers. Now that they're out of the DRS range of Charles Leclerc behind. 1.5 seconds the gap as we go on to lap 3 of this Grand Prix. And of course DRS is going to become available this lap.
DRS is enabled.
And we've got yellow flags. We've got a car in the wall.
Copy.
And I think it's Lando Norris. So Norris is continuing on, but that...
Let's
What did
take
he
a
do
closer
here?
look. Now just take a look at the McLaren.
Did he lock up? Oh, he spun! Oh,
That's
that
off,
could have
and
been...
a big off.
That could have been the end for Lando Norris. It's a long way back to the pit stop to get that front wing changed. DRS enabled, but obviously not in action until the end of the lap. So Fernando Alonso leads with Gasly in P2. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton now up to 10th place, and he'll surely make it past Sergio Perez here as Pierre Gasly's got DRS, and he'll be having his first look at Fernando Alonso. Is he going to have a go down the inside? It looks like he is, and Gasly now takes the lead of this Hungarian Grand Prix. He's got DRS to push on. You can see Hamilton easily past Perez. He's the one that I want to keep an eye on today. He's going to be on a very similar strategy to us, and we know he has got ultimate pace in that Mercedes car. So let's get these back down to balanced.
Copy.
As Fernando Alonso 2 seconds ahead now of George Russell in P3. Very much out of DRS range. We'll be nursing these cars for this first stint. Perhaps attacking a little bit later on, depending on how long we can extend this first stint. But because we're not having a push, we're able to just coast along as it stands. But yeah, once again, extracting the performance out of our car, making the most of it. Fernando Alonso is going to have DRS this time. Gasly pulls over to the right hand side. He's going to be trying to defend that inside line, and Alonso potentially having a look around the outside here. What a move this would be. And he's got DRS, of course, out of the exit of the corner, and Fernando Alonso takes the lead once again in this Hungarian Grand Prix. This battle is definitely not done yet. And all the while, Lewis Hamilton now up to P8. He has passed Valtteri Bottas, his old teammate, pretty easily there. Bottas maybe on the look back, but not this time. So keep an eye on Lewis Hamilton's progress throughout this Grand Prix. But at the moment, it's Fernando Alonso 1 and Pierre Gasly P2. I'll zoom it forward to the end of the lap, and I think once again we could well see another move for the lead here as we come round the final corner, and it's going to be Pierre Gasly this time with DRS. Alonso pulls to the inside. He's going to force Gasly to go the long way around like he succeeded last time out, and Gasly flies past before the corner this time. Alonso making sure his braking is on point so that he didn't go into his teammate, and Gasly is away. And let's look at Hamilton. Is Hamilton going to be able to get past Ocon here? I think he is. And Hamilton now up to P7. This is great progress from the 7-time world champion. And now he is chasing after Max Verstappen, his old rival. I would imagine it's going to be a fairly easy overtake for Hamilton, and then it's going to be about coasting up to the back of Carlos Sainz, and then it gets a little bit more tricky. Fernando Alonso following through Pierre Gasly, and this is going to be a lap for lap battle. And it really is. Two evenly matched drivers. And Pierre Gasly is going to lead us into lap 7 of this Grand Prix, but Fernando Alonso with DRS. What's Gasly going to do this time? He lets Alonso take the inside line, and Alonso's going to be through before they even reach the corner. And then he's going to have DRS again to pull away. This is what happens. Two evenly matched drivers in the same machinery. And as long as one of them stays within the DRS range of the other, this is what's going to happen every single lap. Hamilton, meanwhile, is already past Verstappen, and look how close he is now to Carlos Sainz. This is how quick Lewis Hamilton in it is, and at the moment he is only 5.6 seconds behind the leaders. He is lapping as quickly as Pierre Gasly, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hamilton making it through on Sainz this lap at the pace he's going. Meanwhile, Gasly just about staying in the 1 second window to Fernando here, but I'm not sure he's going to actually be able to make a move, because it's going to be very, very close here. It's going to be very, very close. Well, I suppose he can do it in the second DRS zone. There you go. DRS closes him in. He's not going to make the overtake into turn 1. Ooh. Concertina effect made it look like he might go into the back of him there, but here we go. Pierre Gasly now opens up the inside. Is he going to have a go? He is, and that's very interesting. They're not risking too much, these two, because they know there is a world championship at stake, and one DNF could make all the difference here. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton now stuck with cars of similar pace. That's going to be the big issue that Hamilton has now. What he needs to do is push for it. Get past these guys, but not entirely sure that that's going to happen. Meanwhile, it has got darker all of a sudden. Look how close Fernando is. This could be a good chance for Alonso to pass and push on over a second away here. He's going to be past Gasly very, very early on this straight. Yeah, there you go. Well, I thought he was going to be. No. Somehow, Gasly stays ahead.
Doing a good job. Keep pushing.
Now here's DRS again. He is only going to be following, so yeah, very interesting. Russell down to 5th now. Mercedes need Hamilton to be past Russell. Hamilton's got much more pace, you can see that. Virtually pushing Charles Leclerc around the track. The Mercedes car is looking like it's on ice at the moment. On rails is what I meant to say, not on ice. But there you go. I mean, it says Hamilton is a second behind Leclerc. He's very much not. This is it's very close. Surely Hamilton is going to make the move here. We need to keep an eye on Alonso as well. Let's see. Coming around the final corner. Again, he's going to struggle. Here goes Hamilton then. He's going to go down the inside. No. Russell makes it past.
This is good, come on.
Yeah, Alonso and Gasly managing to stay in front for now. So, let's push it forward. And see how this battle develops. And there you go, Alonso is past this time. We're 3 seconds ahead of George Russell in P3. Brief yellow flags there for a second.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
It was Lance Stroll. And there you go, Gasly back past Alonso now. And we're in this weird situation like we were in France, where because our two cars are battling, there is the potential that the cars behind could catch up and grab a bit of DRS off us if we're not careful. But it is just switching lap after lap. Meanwhile, Hamilton now up to P4 and now up to P3. I think Hamilton is going to close in. Let's hop back on board. As Hamilton now more than a second ahead of the cars behind, and he is bearing down on this battle for the lead. This could be absolutely unbelievable, this. Lewis Hamilton is just absolutely at one with the car. At the moment, Carlos Sainz comes into the pits, as does Ocon. So soft tyre runners are starting to come in. And there you go, Hamilton actually does have, or did have DRS for some reason. Not really sure how. He's not within a second, or at least it doesn't look that way. Don't really know why he had DRS there. But yeah, we got Gasly and Alonso battling it out, and Lewis Hamilton just waiting to pick up the pieces. Russell 1.8 behind, and here comes Lewis. And this is the thing, I don't really want to have to push the car hard because there's not much room for manoeuvre on the strategy to make a one-stop work. Starting on the mediums, so yeah, we might just have to allow Lewis to join the battle and enjoy ourselves. So Lewis is definitely quicker than us at this phase of the Grand Prix. He's definitely quicker than us yesterday. He's been the quickest man all weekend. So here he comes, and that is going to be Pierre Gasly now. With the DRS, is he going to make it past Fernando? Yes, he does. Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, with DRS, is going to close in on Fernando Alonso here. And all of a sudden, it's a three-way battle for the win. So we've got yellow flags in Sector 3. Somebody's locked up. I think it's Stroll once again. I think it was Stroll.
Is that a lockup?
Yeah. That's Stroll's second mistake of this Grand Prix. So Lewis Hamilton behind Fernando Alonso. say, I think Hamilton is our biggest threat today, and the fact that within 20 laps he has made it from P11 on the grid to right behind us, having fought his way through on a track that's very difficult to overtake on. That is showing how much Leah's got. So here we go then. Lewis Hamilton, DRS, where's he going to go? Is Fernando going to be able to get past Gasly? Gasly seems a decent amount in front here. Yeah, no luck there. And here we go. With Fernando Alonso, is he going to be able to make a move? No, he's not. So, Lewis Hamilton just hunting them down here. How do we deal with this? How do we deal with this? I think we just don't panic for now. We've got another sort of 13 laps until we want to be pitting ideally. I think we just need to keep doing what we're doing. If Lewis wants to push on, then that's up to Lewis. Let's have a little look at tyres. Yeah, Hamilton's are pretty comparable to ours. Some of the early stoppers have gone onto hard tyres, so I'm assuming they're going to try and take them all the way to the end. Remember, we do have pace in the bag if we need it. There goes Lewis Hamilton, by the way. He's right in the gearbox of Fernando Alonso, who's going to get past Pierre Gasly. Is Hamilton going to do it as well? This is going to be close. So Hamilton side by side with Pierre Gasly, and he is through. So Hamilton up to P2 now, and here goes Alonso. He is currently defending.
Race position gained from Mercedes.
And this could be the issue, because I think Hamilton could well get past Fernando Alonso and lead this Grand Prix. But would Pierre Gasly be able to follow him through? And quite honestly, I think Hamilton would have enough pace to pull away from us. So I'm going to actually push a little bit harder on the fuel to try and stay in this battle.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy.
So here we go then, Fernando Alonso coming round. He's going to take us on to lap 21 of this Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton now with DRS, he's going to fly through. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and he does make it. And this is the issue, Alonso doesn't have DRS here.
Yeah, mate. I don't have that pace.
Hamilton pulls away.
Stay cool, man. You're doing a good job.
Well, can Fernando stay within a second of Lewis? I don't think he can. Lewis is now going to build that lead. At the front, he's now in clear air, so we're surely going to see the full potential of that Mercedes car. It's just about hanging on to that 1 second window. Stay. Oh, it's just dropped out of it. Are we going to manage it? No. Yeah, Hamilton more than a second ahead now. Alonso's going to be under pressure from Pierre. Oh, no. No, there you go. It comes open. And we close in on Lewis. And this is going to bring us even closer, potentially passing Lewis Hamilton here.
in his gearbox now.
doing a good job. Keep pushing.
So I think we can stay close to Hamilton. That was crucial. If we didn't manage that, Hamilton would have peeled off into the distance, and now we're in a position where we can stick with him. Potentially pass him again. And there you go, Gasly does pass Hamilton.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
There you go, Hamilton now. Ooh,
It's a
9
race
tenths of a
position
second.
gain
It's going to
for
be very, very
Mercedes.
close. But again, I think we've stayed within the DRS range. And that's pulled us back closer. And now there's some traffic coming as well. Pit window entered. And there goes Pierre Gasly. Could be Fernando as well here. Gasly's through on Lewis. What about Fernando? What can he do? He's going to try on the next corner.
Looks like Aston Martin have
No
just
luck
gained
there.
the race position.
I think we want to keep this stint going as long as possible. We've got traffic coming up. Which could help us defend from Lewis through the use of DRS. Depends where Sonoda's going to yield. Yep, it is going to be on this straight, and there you go. They all had DRS there. So 46%. I think if we can extend this stint by 2 or more laps, then we'll be able to attack a little bit more in the second stint. There goes Lewis Hamilton, by the way. Is he going to go down the inside? He is going to try. And I think he's through. Hamilton through once again. Let's just check tyres. Hamilton's are so much better than ours. How? How?
Mercedes moved up a place.
I think perhaps we're going to have to split the strategy here.
This is Goods, come on.
Okay, happy to
Because-
lift in close. Copy.
I think Fernando's actually the quicker car, so I'm going to try and give him the other strategy. We're going to bring him in for the hard tyres. Gonna attack
I
now.
think there's been a lock-up.
I'm actually going to cancel this pit stop. Hang on. Delay pit stop by 1 lap. So it's fine, because we're going to attack the tyres as much as we can here. So Lewis Hamilton into the pits. So let's attack.
So we're happy to push the tyres hard now, push the tyres.
Copy.
Where is Lewis going to come out? He's coming out of the pit lane now. There's his teammate George Russell through. Is Leclerc going to make it? No, Leclerc's well back. So Hamilton away on the hard tyres. So Pierre Gasly's going to go an extra lap. Alonso's coming in this lap. And then Pierre can come in the next lap.
So we think box.
So it's all going to be whether we can come out in front of Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, take it easy.
Okay, copy.
We have took it a couple of laps longer, which is good. Pierre coming in next lap. Here comes Fernando Alonso
Copy.
then into the
Copy.
pits. Where's he going to come out? probably would have been wise to pit Pierre this lap, Alonso next lap, so that Alonso had DRS, but maybe not. They're away 2.682 seconds. Hamilton on the pit straight. Where's Alonso going to come out? Hamilton's going to come out in front. Oh, and a decent way ahead as well. Yeah, I think perhaps we need to keep pushing with Pierre. Gonna delay it even one more lap. What are we looking last lap time? 20.3.
So we're happy to let these tyres
Ooh,
cool.
purple through the middle sector. That's
Okay.
what we're talking about. So I'm going to delay it by another lap. And see what we can do with Gasly here. So here it comes through, a 119.8. It's a pretty decent lap time. What we're looking at percentage wise, I'm not sure. Here comes Lewis Hamilton over the line. It's a 120.6. What about Alonso? What gaps are we looking at here? 2.2. Yeah, I think we can delay it by another lap. Our fight is with Hamilton this race for the Grand Prix victory, and I'm not sure Alonso is going to have the pace. To compete with Lewis Hamilton, whereas Gasly, if we can prolong this stint by as many laps as we can, it's got to be a good thing. So here he comes up to the line once again, and that is another decent lap time. It's a 119.9, so he's still lapping quicker than Lewis. We'll delay it another lap. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso dropping about a tenth every few meters to Hamilton. I think the best we can get with Fernando this race is third. But if we look after the tyres well, perhaps we can attack in the final few laps with Alonso. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to harvest his energy as much as we can. We're going to come in this lap with Pierre. Oh no, it's not. It's not happening. It's too slow. Somebody's locked up. Can't see on track, obviously, who it was. Somebody ran wide. It was Stroll again. Goodness me. Stroll is having an absolute shocker. Meanwhile, Nico Hülkenberg is the car in front of Gasly right now. Is he going to get out of the way? Yep, there we go, nicely through. Oh, did Gasly run wide there? Certainly looked like he did. Very wide line into there. Alonso, meanwhile, not Not staying very close to Hamilton, is he? So here we go then. Pierre Gasly into the pit lane.
Yeah, in the box.
Copy that. So make sure you get your pit limiter
Let's
as you
see
come in the pit
what
lane.
sort of pit stop we can get here. Here we go. All tyres on. 2.6 seconds. Hamilton onto the pit straight. Is Gasly going to get out in front of him? It's going to be so close. It's very, very tight. Oh, and he is in front. He is in front of Lewis Hamilton. And now, honestly, I think what we have to do, we have to deploy. We have to try and get a second ahead of Lewis Hamilton here. Let's have a little look at tyres. We think we can attack on them to the end. It's going to be tight, but we think we can do that. So let's deploy. Let's try and get Pierre Gasly more than a second ahead of Lewis. In fact, Pierre was pushing like crazy there just to get that far in front of Lewis. That I think that shows that Lewis is in another league today. And there goes Tsunoda out of the way nicely. Nicely for us, he's got a little bit in the way of Lewis Hamilton. Now Lewis will have DRS on Tsunoda, but Tsunoda will also have DRS on us.
We have low battery.
No battery now, so we're going to go neutral. Hamilton, yeah, definitely closing in now. Fernando Alonso, 3.8 behind. He's still a long way behind, isn't he? I don't think Alonso is going to really be in the battle. And there you go, Lewis Hamilton already all over the back of Pierre Gasly. Let's reduce it down.
Get back off.
I don't think we're going to be able to do this. An attack on tyres, that's fine.
You can use everything from the tyres. Use everything.
Yeah.
We can't do anything else. We've got to look after the fuel. We've certainly got to look after the ARS. So let's see if Hamilton gets past this lap. And if he does, you feel that is the end of this battle. Fastest lap of the race for Gasly, very quickly taken by Lewis Hamilton there, and Hamilton around the outside. Gasly trying to wring him out to dry, but it's not going to happen, and he has to yield, and Hamilton back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Let's see Fernando a long way behind in P3 now. But can Pierre stay with him? Because if he can't, then we could be in a race-long battle with Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's going to have DRS to Stroll here. So no DRS to help us. Fair enough. And now Alonso almost being caught by Yuki Tsunoda here. So Alonso not going at a great pace at all, to be honest, but Gasly managing to stay with Lewis Hamilton, and that's why I wanted to extend that stint so that Pierre could push on these tyres early on. 30 laps to go. Fastest lap of the race for Pierre Gasly. Alonso 8.5 seconds behind. He is definitely too slow to be in this battle. Gasly on another level in this race so far to his teammate. Thought Gasly might have a look into turn 4. Didn't happen that time. What about here? Come round again. DRS enabled. Hamilton pulls over to the inside. Gasly's going to be through here. Back into the lead of the Grand Prix. He's going to have DRS to pull away slightly. And this is just exactly what you expect.
With a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Really hard racing between two drivers at the peak of their abilities. Gasly starting to pull away from Hamilton here. Can Gasly get more than a second in front? If he can, may well go on and win the race. Yeah, he is all of a sudden more than a second ahead of Hamilton. Not really sure why, but Gasly definitely doing a great job on this lap. He's going to stay out of the 1 second window. Hamilton finally slowing down a little bit. Yeah, no DRS for Hamilton this lap. Let's have a look at Fernando. Yeah. Let's keep harvesting. We'll try and have a go later on. Okay then, I think we can push on here because Gasly seems to have the pace advantage over Hamilton all of a sudden. I don't really know where this is coming from, but...
Energy's good. Copy.
It's coming from a very good place. Gasly 2 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. We're going to reduce that to aggressive. Try and look after the tyres a little bit, Pierre. And now that's starting to bring Hamilton back in, is it? No. Not particularly. 2 seconds is the lead. Alonso, meanwhile, 10 seconds behind this battle. He's just not been in the same league today, race-wise. Can Alonso save up his tyres until the end of the Grand Prix and then unleash? There we are. Still well ahead of Lewis Hamilton here. Keep an eye on that gap, but looks like it's staying pretty constant at 2 seconds. Anything that could cause an issue for... Oh, hang on. Hamilton's back right behind us. What has happened here?
We'll stand a lock up on the track.
Obviously, we had to pass Lando Norris, but now Pierre Gasly
Pushing hard now, pushing hard.
only 0.8 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton is going to have DRS for the first time in a long time. There's fastest lap for Lewis Hamilton. And that is why he's starting to switch it on now. He could well make a move into turn 2 here. No luck. Yeah, well.
No saving required. Okay.
Let's just go a little bit more aggressive with Fernando. Try and close in that gap.
Copy.
Yeah, Gasly managing to stay in front of Lewis for now. But I don't think he's going to manage it this time. Yeah, Gasly pulls to the inside. Hamilton is on the outside. He's got DRS wide open. It's going to be last of the late breakers, and that's Lewis Hamilton. That goes round the outside, back into the lead of this Hungarian Grand Prix, and that is very intriguing because Hamilton definitely dropped off. Probably looked after his tyres for a few laps.
For Mercedes.
And you can see now on very, very comparable tyres. Oh, well. Is Alonso going to be able to close in? He's closing in little bits of time, but not anywhere near enough to get past as Gasly closes right in. Is Gasly going to be able to make a move into turn 2? Not this lap. Not this lap, as we're on lap 52 of 70. And here we go again. Round the outside, potentially. Yes. Gasly back through into the lead of the Grand Prix. DRS enabled again.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Well, can Alonso keep pushing? Gasly's meanwhile got more than a second ahead of Hamilton again. This is crazy, but we have got traffic to get through, including Mick Schumacher. And Hamilton is right behind again. Run lost out. Trying to get past Alex Albon. It seems when we attack on the tyres, Hamilton can't cope with us. And there we go then. Right, let's push it on. Brief yellows there. Is it going to be Stroll again?
Sounds like someone's locked
Not
up.
sure Guan Yu this time. I'll tell you what, Alonso is slowly bringing that gap down. Oh, underflow damage. Where did that come from? Did he run wide? I'm not sure. He has got some damage. Minor damage to the underfloor. And that's going to bring Hamilton back into it. Here comes Lewis with the DRS. 10 laps to go. No luck this time. Let's zoom it forward. Because the next lap, Lewis Hamilton is going to have a really good run. Possibly into turn 2. Gasly defending very, very well here. Oh, Hamilton sees a little gap. He's gone for it. They're side by side here. Can Gasly hold on? No, he can't.
I'm just all over the place.
Right, now we're going to attack with Fernando. We're going to try and get him back into this battle.
Mercedes moved up a place.
Energy if you need it.
Okay.
Can Fernando make up the difference here? It's going to have a couple of laps with full energy. And now, Pierre Gasly coming round. He's going to have DRS. Follows Hamilton, but then swings to the outside. And there you go, Gasly back through once again here. Wow.
That's it.
This is unbelievable. Right, push on the fuel.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Should be alright. We'll double check. We've got enough fuel. Yeah, just about. And now Gasly more than a second ahead of Hamilton again. It's just bonkers. Yeah, Hamilton is DRS there. We're going to go neutral with Fernando. Fernando's currently got fastest lap at 16.1. Reached a little bit of pace there. While Hamilton half a second behind Pierre Gasly. We'll watch the final few laps in their entirety, but we'll zoom forward until that point because I think it is going to be a lot of back and forth between these two.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
There we go, Gasly back through. It's amazing when Gasly
Aston
gets
Martin
through
with
it,
a
he
great
does
play
just
there.
pull away.
They've moved up a place.
Now he makes a big impact through the traffic. Hamilton now 3 seconds behind here. I think we're going to have to go carefully here. Well, 2 seconds now, the gap. Well, Gasly's tyre's going to last long enough. We've got 2 laps to go after this. We've got another little bit of traffic coming up. Lewis has made a big impact here. But he's only got 2 laps to make up 2 seconds. It looks like Hamilton may have thrown this away here. But he's got so much fresher tyres. And if our tyres dip below 30%, it's going to be a huge problem. I think we're going to have to just go aggressive. With Alonso, we can take the risk. So we're going to tell Gasly to slightly back off here. And that will probably bring Lewis Hamilton in. With 2 more laps to go. Closing in on Ocon and lapping up to 10th place, which would be quite the achievement, really. It shows how much pace we've had. You know, you look at Russell in 4th, he is a long way off the top 3. And, well, I think strategy-wise, we've done all right today. We have done all right because Gasly pushed on a little bit longer on those medium tyres, gave himself the gap that he needed. Now there's Esteban Ocon. Are we going to get DRS on Ocon? I think we probably should do. So here we go. It's going to be full attack for the final lap of the Grand Prix. Can Pierre Gasly go and get fastest lap on the final lap?
So this is last
I
lap.
think he's going to beat Lewis Hamilton because Hamilton struggled to get through the traffic.
We just need to push now. The tyres are happy to push.
So unless Gasly makes a last lap mistake, it is going to be victory for him. And he's going to gain 10 points on his teammate Fernando Alonso. And for the first time this season, Pierre Gasly is going to be the leader in this Drivers' World Championship. And that is quite unbelievable, isn't it? So here he comes round the final few corners of this track. The crowd are cheering. They know that Gasly is going to win this. And he's been nursing some damage in this final stint as well. Not sure what that was caused by. But Pierre Gasly comes round the final couple of corners. And he is going to win here in Hungary. Pierre Gasly wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Brilliant for him.
Flag, but you can keep pushing.
And here comes Fernando Alonso. He's going to finish in 3rd. And, well, nearly lapped Sergio Perez in the end, Fernando Alonso.
So let's check the flags.
But Lewis Hamilton, what a weekend he's had. Unlucky not to win the Grand Prix himself. And here comes George Russell as Mercedes very much setting out their stall as the second fastest team out there at the moment. And there goes George Russell in 4th. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz will follow in 5th and 6th. A disappointing time for Ferrari. Started on the soft tyres, went for the 2-stop strategy, didn't work. It's fair to say. What about Max Verstappen? He finishes 7th. Slow again from Red Bull. Bottas comes over the line. He finishes 8th. And Vettel is going to out-race his teammate Ocon. So Vettel comes over the line now. And he is going to finish the last guy on the lead lap in P9. Very, very good indeed. But it's Pierre Gasly who wins.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. This podium is a brilliant reward for everyone's hard work over the weekend.
So there it is. Pierre Gasly lifts the trophy above his head. Hamilton there in second.
Sublime form today, fully
Fernando Alonso finishes third. But it's going to be Gasly who takes the lead of the championship into the summer break. And what an intense battle we're going to have over the second half of the season.
I've got to say, it was a solid drive from all three of them up there. A fantastic showcase for Formula One.
But I have no idea how it's going to go, because we're not upgrading.
They do say success breeds success, and I'm sure the team will be hoping that holds true.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
So there you go, 1 and 3 for our guys, and there's confirmation. Pierre Gasly takes the lead of the drivers' standings, 1 point ahead of Fernando Alonso. Max Verstappen there in P3, a long way back now, and he has certainly struggled in the last few races. Carlos Sainz, meanwhile, he is in P4 ahead of Leclerc in P5. Now, Lewis Hamilton, with his 2 wins this season, you think potentially he can go and get back into this. I don't know what all this is on about. I don't think... Did Lewis Hamilton win the last race? Is that... No, of course he didn't. It was a 1-2. I don't know what races Lewis Hamilton won, but there you go then. Aston Martin leading the way in the Constructors. We are now 137 points ahead of Ferrari, who have moved up to second ahead of Red Bull. I think Mercedes will probably finish second by the end of the year. They looked very, very quick this weekend. Pierre Gasly gets another development point. What about Fernando? Nothing for him. And another development point for Oscar Piastri. 4.9 million in the bank as well to go towards our facilities and what have you. And there is our mid-season review. So you can clearly see we are very much on target. We've passed our target for score in 50% of the races, so I think they're very, very happy with us. Confidence is high, and that's good to see. Helipad is complete as well. Research for the rear wing is complete, so next episode we'll of course work through the summer break, and I think maybe one more big upgrade between now and the end of the season. I think that's what we need to focus on. One more big upgrade to try and win this championship. We've got a very, very good cushion. We've got 2 incredible drivers that are pushing each other to the absolute limit and getting us so much performance out of the car. It's unbelievable. But that's where we're going to leave it for this episode. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager content. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.